Real good boys know that they have to be good to the planet, which is why we drink Fiji water. Since 2022, Fiji water's 330 milliliter and 500 milliliter bottles have been produced with 100% recycled plastic.
That's hot.
You know what's even hotter? The aquifer Fiji water originates from is a sustainable source and will continue to replenish as the rain and water cycles persist in the islands of Fiji.
You're right. That is hotter.
Visit your local retailer to pick up some Fiji water today and give yourself a Good Boy Gold Star for helping protect our planet. After all, Fiji water is Earth's finest water.
Good boys.
Welcome back to Good Boys.
Woo! Good boys.
Good Boys. And we have a guest today.
Hi.
Our guest is Jes Tom, model, actor.
We have established that we're all models and actors
All models and actors.
on this podcast.
And, I mean, you're funny. You could be comedian, Kylo.
I'm not a comedian. That's not me. But I'm sat with two incredible comedians and models, as we've established.
Yeah, and we're having you on Good Boys, the podcast where Kylo and I, two trans dudes that we say specifically because we're afraid to say trans men right now.
Why are you afraid of that?
We're joking that we're like not quite there yet, which we talked about like in the first episode, but I think neither of us are just like there yet. I still say it like I am a trans guy, but I always default to like trans guy or trans dude instead of trans man. I think because it's too serious for me.
It's too loaded.
But I mean, that is what it is. I mean, I'm fully transitioning, but
yeah. And I was saying that I am attached to the word non-binary. There's this like, I just still love it. So
You're very fluid.
I'm very fluid. I don't know if I am or if I just keep saying it over and over and over. So if I keep saying it, then that means it's true. But I think I am. Yeah.
No, that's allowed. I just always.
We are seeking your approval.
Yeah, I know. I was invited here because I'm an incredible model and role model. This is not funny. Let's keep going.
You're perfect.
Wait, can I say something? I am in an era where I'm fully nocturnal.
Okay.
So the fact that I am here at like noon 30, which is not an early time in the day, it's like dawn for me.
Okay.
So if I seem like weird, it's because I like actually am not seeing this time of day.
Okay.
Usually.
You're perfect. Are you someone that does all your best work at night?
I wish that were true. I think it's mostly like watching TV.
What are you watching right now?
What am I? I'm watching Golden Girls.
Oh.
Yeah, for the first time.
Okay, I've never seen it.
I've also never seen it.
I'm very into content about old ladies being friends right now. I don't know what that is psychologically, that's like what I want to see.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Okay, cool. Do you have other examples of old women being good friends?
Grace and Frankie is my favorite.
Oh my God.
I love Grace and
Yeah,
Frankie.
yeah.
If you
so
like
good.
Grace and Frankie, you'll like Golden Girls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Grace and Frankie's big sister.
Okay, I love Grace and Frankie.
I feel like we could learn a lot from the old lady friendship.
The movie
Here
80
on
for
the show.
Brady.
Oh, you liked?
It's actually a feminist film.
Okay.
80 for Brady.
Okay.
More feminist than Barbie. Am I?
Yeah, Barbie was hardly.
I won't weigh in on that. But yeah, 80 for Brady. It's very about old women's friendships and desires, and not very much about football.
But they're all like obsessed with Tom Brady.
They are obsessed with Tom Brady, but mostly they're obsessed with being friends with each other.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Adorable.
really sweet.
Yeah, now that I've fully derailed literally
haven't
your
derailed-
introduction.
You're
Literally, you were like, hi, like, this is the podcast. And I was like, do you know about old ladies being friends on TV?
Well, fuck a format. Well, I don't want to glaze over an introduction though. So like we've got Jes Tom on the podcast today.
Hi.
Hi, Jes. Jes is a actor, writer, comedian, an unserious model. I want to lend time to your hotness.
Thank you. I like to think of myself as aspirational but still relatable.
Yes,
Oh my
that is
gosh.
what you are though.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, we kind of went into media. We like to also start with like how we've been good boys this week. And so that doesn't have to be like how you've been good at being a boy. It could be as wholesome as you helped an old lady across the street, or you had a really great lay, or like it can truly be anything. There's no rules really.
I cleaned my bathroom this week.
That is good boy.
Yeah, which I think is very good boy.
Was it bad?
Yes, it was. You know, is it Rachel Coster who does that show?
Yes.
That's like
Yeah.
boys' rooms.
Fantastic.
Sometimes I watch those and I'm like, uh-oh, is that me?
Oh no, I've been to your apartment. That's not you.
You've been in the front part of the apartment.
That's true. I guess I haven't been in your bathroom.
And I probably like hid a bunch of embarrassing stuff right before you walked in. But it was bad enough that me cleaning the bathroom was like a huge like psychic weight off of me.
Okay, cool.
So I think that's my good boy thing for the week.
I love that. You know, I feel like my week was very relationshipy. I was like a good boyfriend. We went on like a bike ride, which I organized. And then I saw this like...
Wait, hold on. I have to interrupt you. How'd you organize the bike ride?
Listen.
Did you say, let's go for a bike ride?
I said, let's go for a bike ride. I walked us to the city bike dock and I decided where we were going to go.
Okay.
We cycled over the bridge. It was very romantic and beautiful.
Okay.
And pretty loud actually now I think about it, but it was nice. And then I saw this like trending thing on Instagram that said that you should be brave and you should ask your partner like a tough question. And it was like, how can I be better in this relationship? And I asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, deep, right?
Do you feel comfortable sharing the response?
Yeah, the response is that I'm a boy, a good boy that's always on time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend is not an on-time human.
Mm-hmm.
And so what she suggested I could do better is like be a little more patient in those moments.
Okay.
Because I'm like, we got to go. We're 10 minutes late,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I get very stressed out. And so I'm trying to be more patient in those moments.
That's really good feedback.
I'll tell you.
I should ask my partner how I could be a better partner.
Could be a scary answer.
I don't have a partner, which means I'm perfect and I don't have to change.
That actually does mean you're perfect.
That actually does
I
mean
don't
that.
have to do anything.
I think my example of good boy this week is I started my like workout journey, my fitness era, my gym bro moment.
Love that.
Because I'm not a self-motivated person. I have to be motivated by someone holding me accountable, and so I have gotten that. And I went to the gym, and I'm very intimidated by the gym, and I don't feel like good there. But I had I have a gym in my building, and I had it to myself last night, and a guy came in to start like running on the treadmill, and usually I would like pack up my stuff and leave, but I stayed.
Love that.
And I like still referred to like I was watching YouTube videos, which is like kind of embarrassing for me, and like I kept doing that, and I like didn't stop just because there was a dude in there.
Nice.
And that felt
That's
good. I'm so glad we've all been good boys.
I'm so glad about that.
And then so we have a game, which is what I gave you, this little sign here. We have 10 headlines from various news sources, and we're gonna decide. You're gonna hold up if you're gonna judge if it's good boys or bad boys.
It's very binary of you.
It is very it is very binary. We're all about binaries here.
If you're feeling a little more fluid, you can flip it.
Which has happened.
This has happened.
Okay. First headline. Mayor Eric Adams unveils first official New York City bin for trash pickup, announces new rule for this fall.
When you said Mayor Eric Adams, I should have just put bad boy immediately.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear you, Jess. I feel like I went good boy because you should. I mean, it seems like a good idea, you know, bins. But I mean, it should have occurred many, many decades ago.
Fine. I think that urban planning and infrastructure are important.
And they're good boys, but he is a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
All right, moving on to headline number 2. Man with 1,000 kids says the real count is closer to 500.
Bad boy.
Have you heard about this?
I just know this is bad.
To give you context, there's a new like I guess I don't know if it counts as true crime. It kind of feels true crime.
A man existing is a crime.
Yes. This guy is like a sperm donor and like has what people believe to be 1,000 kids across the world, and a lot of them are like lesbian couples.
Is he like really hot with great genetics?
So that's what he
He
thinks himself to be, but I saw a picture and I don't he looks like a knockoff Thor. He's got like long blonde hair and facial hair.
Yeah, he's described though as like a tall, strapping, long, flowing blonde hair.
I think the lesbians are more accountable to this than he is
For picking
necessarily.
him?
Yeah, they picked him.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they picked a white supremacist.
Yeah. Yeah.
That says more about that. I thought he was just going out, sowing his seed.
No.
Okay, well then no, that's...
But he lied though. He
lied.
He lied. The lesbians weren't aware that he has 999 of the children. You know
Well,
what I mean?
499 now apparently.
So they're joining the chosen family.
Yeah. I think bad boy, don't mess with people's families like that. It's such a precious thing. It's so hard to create a family.
100%.
He should get residuals for the kids. Just kidding. I don't think that. I don't think that. I'm just trying to find places to put in residuals.
Yeah, let's get this man some money. Next headline: man stopped at customs with 100 live snakes down his pants.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Wait, so I'll be contrary. I'll say bad boy because he had 104 snakes like in these like plastic bags in his pants. That has to be some kind of animal abuse.
Okay, I didn't know they
Yeah.
were in plastic bags.
Did you think
You
they
did
were
not
loose?
specify.
Yeah,
that,
just loose in
yeah.
the pants. I was like, that's very impressive. 104, and to get as far as customs, that's
That's true.
really far.
Yeah, this is a.
It feels just a hilarious prank.
It is a.
I think it's impressive.
I don't know if it's a. I think there's something insidious going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's animal trafficking, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
He's gonna sell them, right?
yeah. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
yeah.
And then so I read this article. We don't always read the articles with this headlines, which is fantastic for journalism. But I actually read it, and they're like, and this comes a month after a man smuggled 14 turtles in his pants. So it seems
So
to be
this is
a
a
thing.
thing.
It's
what
a thing
kind
that's
of
happening.
pants? I need to know. I need
Probably
to understand.
cargo, if I had to
Right, with
guess.
pockets.
And then you're on the plane and you're sitting on the.
Snakes on a plane.
Exactly.
Nothing new under the sun.
Okay, this is a fun one. Next headline: Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz star in Shrek 5. They've announced the 5th Shrek installment.
Go on. I'm gonna give a good boy.
And the
Yeah,
original
I think
cast
that's
is
Good
returning.
Boy.
I think that's Good Boys. Original cast.
100%.
Could you imagine they came out with the Shrek 5 and it was just like all new people?
All female reboot.
Who would you want to be in it?
All female reboot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Keeping Cameron Diaz.
For some reason, my brain just went Julia Roberts, but I don't know.
No,
why.
that would be great.
Right? That
would
Yeah,
be
all
great.
female Shrek starring Julia Roberts.
Yeah. My head went to, okay, so we have Cameron Diaz. Let's have the original Charlie's Angels cast. So Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore and have them in there.
I'm
Yeah,
pro
that's
that.
nothing.
I'm always pro Lucy Liu.
I'm very
Yeah.
pro Lucy
Yeah,
Liu.
Sagittarius
She's hot.
queen.
Yeah. Next one, not as fun as the last one. Biden is now deporting more people than
Bad.
bad.
You scared me then, Jess. You
No,
started
no,
with the
no.
good
I
and
just
you
lifted the sign. I
Okay,
just
you were
was
just
like,
like,
something
quick.
has to stop
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
To be fair, well, it's just that Biden is now deporting more people than Trump.
Yeah, that's horrible. You're gonna go Shrek deportation?
Yeah. We're
We
covering,
cover a lot of
covering
ground.
everything
We
here.
cover a lot of ground.
Okay. Next headline: Federal judge halts Biden's new Title IX gender identity protections rule. For
Can you explain
context, for my UK friends,
Yes.
it's all about gender identity discrimination, and so this is specifically for protecting people against discrimination in healthcare.
Okay.
So this is something Biden put in place. Now a federal judge from Missouri, in 15 states, there's not going to be gender identity protection against discrimination in healthcare.
This is obviously bad.
Obviously
Yeah.
bad.
And I'm somehow not surprised.
Some of these are going to be easy, you know. This next one, Trevor Project announces new CEO James Black to help to helm the LGBTQ suicide prevention nonprofit.
I saw this.
You saw this? I thought
Amazing.
you'd have opinions.
Yeah. Well, this is a non-binary human, right?
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Trevor Project's amazing.
Yeah.
I think.
I guess, yeah, of all the things to be CEO of, Trevor Project is a good one.
Yeah.
Am I understanding this person's a person of color,
Yeah.
non-binary? I mean,
Yeah.
great.
That's good.
Yeah.
All this is good.
I think that's cool as
Yeah.
well. And that was Good Boys in the News. So, Jess, you recently had top surgery. I think you just
I
announced
did.
3 months post-op.
I did, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats. How'd
Thank
it go?
you. It was good. It was chill. It's been chill. I mean, I'm interested in talking to you about this, Motti, just because, like, I know you, and you got yours done, like, 2 months before me, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that we probably had pretty different experiences.
I think we did.
Yeah, so...
Because you had keyhole?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about keyhole?
So keyhole is basically the least invasive version of top surgery.
Mm-hmm.
The incisions go like right under the areolas, and then they just like pull the tissue out and then sew it back up again. So
Cool.
nothing gets like moved or changed.
Yeah.
It's like basically the same thing, but you know, they take the sand out of the bag.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I always like envision, like, I always thought it was the side though, actually. Yanking it out the side, but it's the bottom.
Yeah, it's the bottom. So I don't have like double incision scars, but also just like nothing is like moved. Like it's
Yeah.
almost as though
Yeah.
everything is exactly the same except that tissue came out.
Yeah. Factory setting nipples.
Yeah, factory setting nipples, OG nipples.
Cool.
So it's interesting because it's just very subtle, which I imagine is a really different experience from what you've had.
Yeah, I had a double incision nipple graft. Is that what you had?
I had that too.
Yeah. So I had a large chest. And yeah, I mean it feels very not subtle. I don't know what very drastic. It took a while to get used to, actually.
Totally.
Nipples totally resized. They're like finally starting to look pretty normal, but I really thought that my scars were going to be a lot different. I have like feelings about the results. I think that my scars kind of do this like swooping down, like rounded shape rather than like straight across that I see on everybody else. But then I'm like, I don't even think that would have been possible. My boobs were so big.
I mean, there's all kinds of scars.
Exactly.
Yeah, all kinds of
Yeah.
scars, and people have all kinds of different results and like different ways of like I feel like you either said or you wrote somewhere that you and the surgeon didn't really like map out like what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And like some people, the surgeon is really specific beforehand. I don't know what your experience with that was, Kylo.
Yeah, my surgeon was super specific about it.
Mm-hmm.
About like how I wanted the scars, and what she had a very strong view of like recommendation of what she would suggest for me, given my chest size and given what she'd done before and all these things. So mine are pretty straight across. My nipples are like, the pigment hasn't come back in them, I guess, yet, you know? So it's like, I'm hoping that they're going to darken up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know, Motti, that the feeling in your chest is
Oh,
really
yeah.
there, and mine is like not even for a second.
I don't
there.
feel anything.
I don't feel
right now.
anything.
Yeah, I don't feel anything.
You don't feel anything, as in like if I poked your chest, you wouldn't feel that?
I could feel the pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I-
as though under a thick blanket.
Got
Same.
it. Okay. The feeling, like the tissue and the nerves never change. Like I immediately, like
Wow.
right after, like I feel when I touch it, like there's no numbness. I know your armpits were numb for a while, Kylo.
Yeah, they're still kind of numb a little bit, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
None that never happened for me.
Also,
Also, I have what is it? Nipple stimulation. Like I feel
Sensations.
Thank you. Sensation in my left nipple. My right nipple, I can tell that I'm touching it, but my left nipple like still communicates to the rest of my body.
That's
Wow.
cool.
In
That is
I
so
mean,
cool.
we
That's
all know what I
cool.
mean when I say that, and that's like really cool for me.
I have like a bizarre thing that I'm guessing, I haven't asked my doctor, but I have a random really sensitive part of my chest that's not my nipple, and I'm like, is that
That happens.
the nerves from my nipple before or something that is like remapping to somewhere?
I
You know what
hooked
mean?
up with a guy once who said he couldn't feel anything in his nipples, but he could feel it in like his chest up here.
Right,
Like
and I'm
a sensual feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
and
That's
I'm like,
sick.
I think I have the same thing, but it's like so sensitive that I'm like not there yet for anyone to like touch it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe over time. But then I'm like, is my whole chest just a sensitive nipple? I mean, maybe that's cool. I don't
That's
know.
so
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I don't feel pretty much anything right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting to see. I'm giving myself a year
Yeah.
to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then just see.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while to fully heal.
Yeah.
I know you were on Fire Island recently, or am I making that up?
I was
And
in June.
I remember you posted something. We're just gonna refer to each other's internet posts, but you posted something about like perception of you're either. What was it? Like you're either.
Oh, I said I feel like my poolside perception has gone from lesbian to gay guy with something imperceptibly but undeniably wrong.
Is that because you feel like? Are you getting that from other people like interacting with you?
I don't know that I actually am. I might just be totally projecting. But I
Yeah.
had this interesting moment where I was at this pool party with like a lot of gay guys, cis gay guys. And I took my shirt off and like got in the pool. And I was like, I just wonder what they think is going on right now.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have like an extremely clear tell,
Yeah.
like double incision scars.
Totally.
I just was like, I don't know. I don't know what they think. And like I was like, for the first time ever, it's possible that like I walked into the room and people were like, oh, this is like a girl or a lesbian or something. And then I like took my clothes off and people were like, huh, was I wrong? When before it's always been the opposite.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to know what they're thinking?
No. I don't know. I mean, this is all so like new for me to be navigating.
Yeah.
And I mean, my history with gay guys is also relatively new from the past like 3 years. And I also had an experience where I was at a party, just like I was at Bubble Tea, which is a big like queer Asian party. And I took off my shirt because it was hot. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Like, and all these gay guys have their shirts off. And I had a couple of instances of like guys coming up to me and dancing with me and just being like, I just don't know exactly what they think. Whereas before, I would go to gay stuff and like take my shirt off just because.
Yeah.
But like because I like had a bit of a chest, I was like, okay, like if you come up to me, you must know something is going on.
Yeah.
And then now I was like, I just don't totally know. And it kind of scared me.
Yeah. I think that would scare me too.
Yeah.
I had something somewhat similar where like the first weekend of June, I went to Fire Island with my girlfriend. Her uncle just got a place on Fire Island. So like we were going to like break it in, whatever. And we went to tea party.
Yeah.
And I did feel this thing where like I also understood like me and my girlfriend now, like technically, I guess when you break it down are like very much a heterosexual relationship because she's a bi cis woman and I'm a trans dude. I understand we're in this like gay space. We look like just like this like white cishet couple basically. I mean, I guess that's assuming I pass, whatever. But it was this thing where I was like, okay, I understand. I'm like, maybe this isn't my space to be in, but I'm here. And I was wondering how they were perceiving me. And all the guys were coming up to me, complimenting my outfits and just being like, I love how lesbians dress. So I was like, okay, they're clocking me as a lesbian. But then I got a little upset. And I didn't want them to clock me as a lesbian, but I love being a lesbian. Does any of this make sense?
Totally.
It was just like, oh, okay. Like, I wonder how I fit in this space. Cool.
No, totally. That makes sense. I think the only thing I can think of, well, two things. One is when I go to the gym, I have gone into the male changing rooms a bunch, even before top surgery. And to your point, Jess, before top surgery, they were just like, there's a trans guy or a lesbian in here, I guess. And they just, avoid my eyes a bit. And now I take my shirt off and there's this, by the way, I get double taked by every single guy in that place. And they do this thing where they like double take at my chest. So I guess I have the thing where they're like, oh, I know exactly what this is because of the two scars. And I feel like there's a bit more there's more acceptance of me, but certainly they stare at me. But I realized I was saying to my girlfriend,
You're also hot.
Oh, thanks. I don't feel that, but I was saying to my girlfriend, I think I was like, she was like, does it piss you off that they're staring at your chest? And I was like, no. I don't know if it's because I'm like super proud of it. Like I love being a trans guy and like, yeah, these are my scars and I love my scars. Or whether I sort of love the education piece of it, especially my gym's like super hetero. So I'm like, yeah, there's a trans guy in here. Don't be mean to trans people in general. And I'm in your space. I'm air quoting again.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know. So that's been interesting for me since I had top surgery. And then to your point on the partying, I was in a very sapphic space for Pride. And a friend of mine who's non-binary, trans, more masculine presenting, walked in with me and was like, dude, this is not our space. Like, we cannot be in here for sure. And felt super uncomfortable. And I didn't feel uncomfortable until they said that. But I wonder what you guys feel about partying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you could be in those sapphic spaces still?
Yeah, for me personally, and I still love it. Yeah.
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 Jess?
For me, it's not about like, identity or not, it's all about identity. It's not about perception. For me, I think perception-wise, I can totally be in a lesbian space, and I'm not like bothering anyone or anything.
Yeah.
I identify more as like a gay guy these days, so I don't want to be that because I don't like being perceived as a lesbian. And if I'm like in a lesbian space, I'm gonna be perceived as a lesbian, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I get why. And like I did a 17-year tenure in lesbianism, so like I know what it's like. Yeah, I did a show at the Bush a little while ago. Yeah. And I like looked around and I was like, oh, this is like, it's like going back to my old school. And being like, I loved my time here, but I don't think I belong here anymore.
Yeah. I kind of felt that way because it was like the Pride show that I did a couple weeks ago, and it was truly an all lesbian crowd, and a lot of my material, like my 10 now, is like mostly trans stuff, and I was like, oh, they're not really rocking with it, when I was like, I should have just done my old 10 that was all dyke stuff. Like I should have just known to do that.
I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of people in the crowd who also are.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they weren't rocking with it.
Some trans spectrum.
I made some trans mask references, and it was not
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Gen Z is very capital S sapphic. Like the change in culture has been exponential, more than I'm 33, so I'm like 5 years older than you or something. But I've been out as a queer person for almost 20 years, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Really crazy. And like the shift in culture that I've seen over that time is like just exponential, especially just in the past literally like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
100%. I'd agree with that. And then you've just had, given our age, not to isolate the youngins on the pod.
No, I'm young.
Yeah. We've just had, I think, too, a completely different upbringing, like barely any technology. I'm a bit older than you, but like barely any technology. I had Facebook super late, all this stuff, and it's the disadvantages of, I think that's why it's so cool that you came out so early, by the way. I think I like struggled and didn't understand fully, and I think I look at Gen Z and I'm like, of course you understand your sexuality, it's everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like, and whereas I didn't get that, but at the same time I sort of love that I didn't have all this like comparison and technology and all these things.
We kind of had to figure stuff out on our own, but I also think that made it so, you know, I said I've been out as like a queer person for a really long time, but I've only been like medically transitioning for 4 years out of that time. Yeah. So it did take me like a long time to really figure stuff out, like for real.
I was thinking about it the other day. I came out in 2018, and I'm like, damn, it's only been 6 years. It feels like it's been 20 years. It feels like it's been my whole life.
Are you both feeling this like coming of age thing that everyone keeps talking about? Like, do you feel like a young person in an older person's body?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes. I'm doing like 22-year-old gay shit, and I'm like too old to be doing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun though. I mean, I think it's kind of cool, you know?
Sort of. I'm like legs up in the recreation room of some guy's apartment building being like, I'm like in my 30s and I don't know that I should be here at 5 a.m. right now.
I feel the opposite, and maybe it's just what I have going. Like, I'm like, you know, me and my girlfriend live together. We moved in Manhattan now, like, and we're monogamous and like all of that. So I actually feel the opposite. I feel like I'm very much like growing up and settling down, and it doesn't scare me. I think I've always kind of wanted that. But everyone like, I'm 3 months on T now, and everyone was like, when you start T, like, you're gonna feel like a 13-year-old boy. You're gonna want to hump everything. You're gonna be running around. You're gonna want to go to the. None of that is happening for me.
Just you'll see.
Okay, so
I'm not saying like it'll definitely happen, but I am saying you're like literally at the very, very, very beginning. Okay, and like you don't really know,
because everyone made it seem like it was gonna happen like in the first couple of weeks.
I feel like what I've learned just from transitioning is that like you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And you don't know what's going to happen to you. And what happened to so-and-so is not necessarily going to happen to you. Totally. You just have to kind of find out. Yeah. And it'll like happen at your own pace. Yeah. That's true. You can't really know, which is what, I don't know, that kind of brings me back to the social media of it all, where I feel like, you know, social media invites comparison in every aspect. Totally. You know, in career, in like what you look like and anything. And I feel like that's kind of a double-edged sword with trans stuff. Yeah. Especially in this kind of like TikTokian era of like, this is what it's like come with me in a day of a life of a trans guy. When it's like, no, that's you. Yes. That's you. Like, you don't know. You don't know what it's going to be like for yourself. Yeah. So let's say that that's a problem. Like, maybe it's not like a problem, but let's say that's a problem, right? That people are saying, come with me a day in the life of a trans dude. Do you think the solution is like, come with me with a day with Motti instead of labeling it like as a trans man, or do you think that audiences just have to understand that this is this person's specific experience? I mean, I don't know what the solution to social media
Wait,
is.
You don't? That's so weird.
I know. Me, Mark Zuckerberg. But famous trans man Mark Zuckerberg. Push him. Anyway. I do think that like there is value to like I statements. This I think is a huge cultural difference in like the small amount of age that I am older than you, is that I was really raised, especially in queer spaces, to like use I statements, be like, I think this, like, this is my experience. And I feel like the culture of younger people is to be like, this is what it's like to be a trans guy, or this is what it's like to be a sapphic. Here's like the doc of what it's like to be a sapphic. And it's like, that's not, I don't believe in that.
Totally.
And yeah, we're all having totally different experiences. And like,
Totally.
it only, at least for me, I have had to do a lot of work to just separate myself mentally from like seeing that stuff online.
Yeah.
And just being like, you know, it's okay, like, okay, you know, I've been on testosterone for 4.5 years. It'll be 5 years in November. I get read about 50-50, man or woman, when I go outside. I see a lot of like people's like transition timelines where they're like, I'm like, this is me, like 2 years on testosterone, and they have like a full beard.
Yeah.
And I just have to be like, okay, that's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just because that person is like that, that actually doesn't have anything to do with me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it doesn't mean anything about me.
I think people also forget how much genetics plays a role. I'm saying that because you mentioned like the beard and everything. Like, I don't know, like that kind of runs in a family, doesn't
Totally.
it?
Yeah, I think so. It's tough because I think everything on the generalized statement video on TikTok just trends so well. You know, people like all buy into it, and so I think people they feel like they must keep doing that sort of.
No, that's what the
energy
problem
of,
is.
you know, and
yeah,
that's the
it's
issue,
not
yeah.
like the individual creators. It's like what this like system that we're trapped in. You know, I posted a picture the other day being like 3 months post-op, a picture of me with my shirt off. It's 4,000 likes on it. I posted, you know, I'm doing this show to like honor Cecilia Gentili, who is this beloved mother of the trans community in New York, and a show I'm really proud to be a part of. 300 likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, that's
That
what
sucks.
the system that we're in is encouraging me to like overshare like my body.
Yeah.
Now I'm like comfortable. I chose to do that. Nobody
Yeah.
like forced me with a gun to do that. But I am like, why is this the thing that I have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I actually posted my chest for the first time the other day on social, and it was like, you know, it was like on a carousel, like 4 pictures in. It wasn't like the first one or anything. And I realized I felt so nervous to do it. I kept challenging myself, like, should I even do this? Like, is it even important? And then I was like, I'm proud of it, so I want to show it. Also, I feel like the people that do follow me, maybe it's nice to see that I've had gender affirming surgery and I feel good about it, and all the, you know, terrible things that happen that the right talk about. I feel like I have some sort of responsibility to be like, this is a good thing. And but at the same time, yeah, I still don't know how I feel about it and what I want to do going forward with it. You know what I mean?
The first time I posted my chest on the internet, I got doxxed. So
Right. No, and that's
so funny.
That's
Awful.
fucked up.
I also got like so many likes, and then I'm like trying to like promote a show the next. Yeah, like it's like, okay. No, of course that's fucked up, but it's, I mean, I laugh at it now because it was so ridiculous and because whatever. But yeah.
Are you both taking, like, what is the dosage of, and how are you taking it, testosterone?
I have a weekly shot, and it's like, it's weird, the dose. So I do 2.5 in the syringe, but I think that like translates to something else when you're talking about the actual dosage, because the dose is technically the bottle. I don't know. But I pulled to 2.5 in the syringe.
Yeah, I think it's just 0.25.
0.25.
Milliliters.
Yeah.
I
too
also
bad.
do
Same.
0.25.
Okay, cool.
See, mine's very different, but I'm doing this very slow micro dose gel that I take every single night before bed, and I like rub it on my shoulder or behind my knee. And it's funny that you say that you haven't felt anything in your body yet, because the first few weeks I was like, I'm gonna like hump anything. I'm so horny. And my body was raging, and I was like sweating, and I was just this like mess of a human. And then it just went away, and now I'm just like pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've like peaked, and it's you know, I don't know.
I mean, listen, if I'm really reflecting and I'm gonna be really vulnerable here, I as soon as I said like, oh, I'm not feeling that like 13-year-old horniness, I think it's because I'm in a monogamous relationship, so I can't I can't like view it as like all these people I'm having sex with, but we live together, and I am realizing I'm like every time I'm in the house and she's not, I am jacking off. I'm like okay, so maybe it is there, but like I have to measure that differently. So like maybe I am, but I thought I was gonna like feel it coursing through my veins, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you just have to see, or like the desire thing, the sexual orientation thing.
Yeah,
I was also in like a serious relationship with a cis woman when I started, which I think just like mentally and emotionally, you know, that's where I was locked in.
Yeah,
and then we broke up, and I like went totally.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's gonna happen to you. That's just
don't worry.
That's what happened to me.
I feel very secure. She's a little anxious about it, that I'm gonna want to like, you know, explore, but I've explored. I've explored, but no, there were things that were like completely like bottom growth like first week immediately. This mustache, which obviously like isn't full yet, but like immediate. I'm only 15 weeks in, and I was getting like hot flashes and sweating, but my sweat smell hasn't changed yet.
Mine has actually.
Yeah,
I
you
smell
smell
different
bad.
for sure. I smell, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe it's bad. I just did not smell or sweat before at all,
Yeah.
and now I like sweat, and I guess that creates a smell.
Yeah,
Which is weird. And I feel like too, I'm having to like scrub in a way that I didn't have to scrub before to get clean and feel clean.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, Kylo, how long have you been doing that?
The tea, say like a year, but it's such small amounts, you know. So I don't know. I need to like, and like Motti has a wonderful trans guy primary care physician, and I do not.
My PCP is trans.
Nice.
I do not, and mine is just, you know, my PCV is just a cis woman that my testosterone was low anyway for a woman, air quotes, and so that's why they gave it to me. And so I probably need to like start exploring, you know, someone that actually knows what I should be taking and help me like towards a transition.
So rarely do I get to be the big boy, but I don't, from like, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. From like looking at the three of us together, you wouldn't necessarily guess that like I'm the one who's been on testosterone for like a long time.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
You have a very
it
resonant
depends, but
voice though.
Yeah.
thank you.
And the mustache.
Yeah.
Can I just say the mustache on Netflix was so good?
Thank you.
I know you said you think they enhanced it.
No, I asked them. I mean, I asked the makeup artist. I was like, the first thing I'm going to do is come out and make a joke about my mustache. So yeah, we have to make sure it's a big theater. They have to be able to see it from the back.
Looks great.
Love that.
Thank you.
Do you do that will you do that like before going out to an event or something? Will you fill it in, or
no?
Is that for the professionals?
I leave that to the pros.
Okay.
I had an audition once for like a trans guy whose like really big thing is that he's like stealth or whatever. He's stealth and he doesn't identify as trans or whatever. And this was a few years ago, so I looked a little different. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna fill in my mustache, and it made me look so trans that I like was like, never mind, it has to go.
When you say stealth, as in like passes?
Stealth is like when you pass and you don't tell anybody.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I want that. You know.
I worked with a guy once who I worked with him for like 2 years and then found out he was trans, and I was like, oh my god, this whole time I thought you were nice.
Did he act very much
he
like
just was like a guy, you know?
Yeah,
he just was like a regular guy. I was like, you didn't have green hair, like what the, no green hair, septum piercing.
Yeah. Oh, I have noted that you added red to your hair.
I did. I'm trying to masquerade as a fun person.
You are a fun person.
No, I'm not.
I disagree. I think you're a fun person. I think you're a cool person.
That's so cool and fun are opposites.
I disagree.
Which is not to say that I agree that I'm cool, but I do think that like cool and fun means, you know, you're totally carefree and you have like no self-consciousness and you're dancing and you know,
okay.
like cool is like,
that,
hey, like,
yeah, okay,
like,
fair. Traditional cool.
it's not fun.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that I'm that cool either. I think I'm kind of, you know, watching Golden Girls at home.
We all are.
Okay, I won't make you uncomfortable. You're watching Golden Girls at home after like a month of like hosting all of the Pride events and galas and red carpets and like.
Yeah, that means I love to work.
Yeah, that's true. That is a job, I guess.
It means I'm working.
Yeah. That's
I
true.
work and then I go home and watch Golden Girls.
Yes. I was gonna do an espresso riff, but I realized that I can't sing Sabrina Carpenter's songs anymore. I can't sing any songs. I can't sing. Huh?
When did that happen?
I can't like. I'm working. Well, I'm not gonna hit it now, but it cracks.
I went through a
can't do it.
period where I couldn't sing anything at all, and then it evened out again. And I
Okay.
actually love to sing now.
Well, I was like, what if a miracle happens? I can't sing for shit like pre-T. What if I get a really good singing voice?
Really resonant and low and beautiful.
Well, just like, and just not bad. Like I can hit it. Like I don't know anything about music theory or anything, but the one example at home, I'll sing "Good Luck Babe" by Chapel Rowan, obviously, and it's like, and good luck. It doesn't come out of my mouth.
Mine is full like nasal. Good luck, babe. Like this
Okay,
way.
but you can. Okay.
You can
But
hit it
it's
though.
this way when she's singing like that.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, I guess I could if I manipulated it. Fantastic. Well, we're going to do a quick thing of advice. I wanted to open up the floor, Jess, because we talked so much about, our recent top surgeries and HRT and stuff, if you have wisdom to impart on anybody that might be listening who's maybe considering these things or is new to these things or old. And then I think it would be fun if you have like not so much wisdom, it's some bad advice or anything.
I guess for advice, I would say do your research, but then kind of put that stuff away. I also had feelings, right after my surgery about my results and stuff. We all still have feelings. Yeah. And I think that that's something people like don't talk about at all online. And like there's a real narrative of like, I looked at myself and now I feel whole and like everything's fine now. And like that's just it's not realistic.
No.
Just cuz like you're still like a person with a body in the world.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And I had to actively stop myself in my first month after healing from like looking at specifically other people's top surgery results.
Same.
And I had to something I wanted to say earlier was Instagram, once it got wind that like I had just gone through this thing, it started showing me like a ton of people's top surgery results, but they were all white people.
Yeah.
I had to literally be like, not interested in this, and like make it go away because it was like making me crazy to look at these other people's bodies and be like, well, I'm not this and that, or like, I don't have this and that, when it's just like, I'm my own person, you're your own person.
Yeah.
And we're all just like having our own experiences. And what a blessing it is to be able to have these experiences, but you can't like, look at other people and like compare yourself directly to them.
Yeah. The weeks leading up before my surgery date, my entire Explore page was like white dudes with healed scars and six packs and it like, and whatever. And like, shout out to them, like that's amazing, but it was definitely like, well, and then I started being like, should I have like gotten really fit before my surgery so that I'll like my body even more before? And I'm like, I like my body the way it is, it's like whatever. But I did get in my head about like, should I have prepped my body
Totally.
or something like, I don't know, but
I remember taking a picture like that to my trainer and being like, this guy's trans and how do I get his body? And my trainer was like, this person is almost definitely on steroids, has a very strict
calorie deficit.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
doing
and
all
he's
these
probably been doing it for 10 years.
Right. And my trainer was just like, this is not who you should be comparing yourself to. But to your point, Jess, you see the algorithm hits you with it hard.
It's like it's trying to show you specifically things that are going to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
And it's like very, shocking.
And then it'll slap you with an ad for BetterHelp.
Like
it's like,
exactly.
God damn.
Exactly.
Feeling bad?
Yeah.
You can talk to someone.
Why. Okay, so thank you, Jess.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
I want to give a shout out. What do you have coming up? How can we support you, buy tickets for things, watch you?
You can find me on Instagram at Jes the Kid, on Elon Musk's Twitter at Jes Tom. That's JESTOM. And I'm doing the first week run of Cecilia Gentile's Red Ink, which we're doing to honor the late great Cecilia Gentile. And all the ticket sales are going to go to causes that she believed in.
Amazing.
So come out and see that at Rattlestick.
Okay, and we can find info for that on your Instagram.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, great. Do you have anything coming up? You have anything fun?
So for them, we've created a new product that's coming out. I'm very excited about it. And as always, we've made it with the community. They're brand new designs. We've queered everything. I'm really pumped. Jess, we're going to gift you some.
Yay.
Okay, great. I don't have anything to promo. I'll be a good boy. Dolphin Mode. Brit Mig's solo show, August 5th at Caveat. I don't have
Yes,
any shows.
Brit shows.
But my fantastic girlfriend has a solo
Wow,
show
that's
coming
so
out.
girlfriend guy to plug your girlfriend's show.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
That's
That's a good
nice.
boy.
It's
Good
a
boy.
divorce. Well, it's a divorce and coming out story, and I'm really proud of her. So that's what I'll plug while I don't have anything. Good boy.
Yeah, good boy. Woo.
Thank you very much. Good boy, Kylo.
Good boy, Motti.
Oh, we should good boy Jess.
Good boy, Jess.
Good boy Jess.
Thank you.